Hi, my name's Ultra, and I want to tell you about the Transformers. Today, I'd like to tell you about the Transformers Armada episode, Confrontation. In this episode, Fred and Billy are kidnapped by the Decepticons. This episode begins with Fred and Billy wondering about the origin of the Transformers, after they encountered Hotshot and the Minicons a couple episodes ago.
I bet they're from the future. I say they're from space.
Well, Billy is technically right, but Fred's guess could be a reference to the past series, Beast Wars, where the descendants of the Autobots and Decepticons, the Maximals and Predacons, traveled back in time to prehistoric Earth.
And did you see that one that turned into a car? It was so cool. That's just a disguise so they fit in, doofus.
The boys spot the other kids and follow them. But they're not the only ones, as Cyclonus also spies them.
Oh, don't be shy. I won't bite. Oh, you little brat, I'll show you.
It's interesting. I think this is the first time that we see Laserbeak used in his weapon mode. Rad escapes Cyclonus, so he ends up kidnapping Fred and Billy instead. Because, all human children look alike. Laserbeak follows Cyclonus to an old ghost town. Doesn't this kind of look like the one from the G1 episode, the Autobot Run? While the Autobots confront the Decepticons, Fred and Billy lay a trap for their guard, Leader 1.
Hey, you want to try one? Here.
How would he eat the chip? He doesn't have a mouth. Does he? And besides, who wants a plain potato chip? At least if it was ketchup or salt and vinegar flavor, then it would be worth it.
Ah! Don't you eat my chips!
Wow, those kids are really lucky that they didn't get hit by Leader 1's boob laser. Speaking of boob lasers, Starscream uses his to destroy a building. Good thing that wasn't the one that Fred and Billy were in. After polishing off Fred's bag of chips, Leader 1 begins charging his boob laser again for another blast. But he gets distracted by static electricity? Really, I have no idea why there was suddenly this spark here.
Where's your leader, Megatron? Hey, what's the problem? I'm not good enough for you.
Finally, the street action team arrives to save Fred and Billy.
Who are they?
Who's that Minicon? It's Grindor!
Grinder.
Oh, and the other kids are here too.
So, what's he saying?
So it turns out this was all a trap set by Megatron, who was actually hiding underneath all that junk this entire time. And he proceeds to electrocute the kids and their Minicons? Ouch! Megatron shows off the new additions to his collection to Optimus and Red Alert.
Quite a handful, isn't it?
Oh, you have no idea, Megatron. You have absolutely no idea just how many Minicons there are out there to collect.
Oh, I was just thinking of keeping them as pets.
The kids? I think that's a bad idea, Megs. You have to feed them and walk them and clean up after them. Not to mention, you're going to be keeping them on the moon too, right? Well, you better give them plenty of oxygen. Apparently humans need that too. Oh, and of course, you're going to have to get them spayed and neutered. You don't want a bunch of little humans running around, do you? So Optimus is upset that Megatron stole his pet humans. The Autobots are forced to turn over their Minicons to the Decepticons.
We've come through with our part of the deal. Now release the children, Megatron.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
What?
You double-crossed us!
Well, they are called Decepticons.
They literally call themselves Decepticons. That doesn't set off any red flags?
It looks like the tables have turned when Rad manages to tase Megatron with Laserbeak, but Megs manages to keep a hold of him. When Fred finds Laserbeak on the ground, he gets a cute heroic moment trying to tase Megatron's toe. Meg sends Leader 1 after Fred.
Remember me? Why can't we be friends?
What?
While the others are trying to figure out how to deal with this sexual harassment, Hotshot grabs Rad and sucker punches Megatron. And for some reason, the animation here goes from 0 to 100 instantly. Seriously, the animation at the beginning of this episode was just awful. But here, somehow they stepped it up a notch, or 12. So the Autobots save the kids and the Minicons, and the Decepticons retreat. Fred and Billy introduce themselves to the Autobots, and they officially become part of the team. Oh joy. Well, this was an okay episode of Armada. I think this episode kind of had a bit of wasted potential. With a little reworking, they could have made Leader 1 a much more interesting character. That is to say, he could have been a character at all as far as Minicons go. I think it would have been interesting if Fred and Billy had successfully made friends with him, and then he felt conflicted about having to attack Fred at the end. It kind of seemed like maybe that's what they were hinting at, but with the Minicons having basically no dialogue in this show, it's hard to tell what he was thinking at that moment. What about you? What did you think of this episode of Transformers Armada? Let me know down in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you back here next time for the next episode, Underground. So I'll see you back here next time for that.